That's a female. Let me show you the male. Male has an indent in there, bigger tail, flat bottom. This stuff spreads like crazy, but the good thing about it, it's a great food source for the capybaras. They absolutely love it. All right, we're gonna put them all on the land so that they know there's a land section for them now. Looks like a nest box for me for a twisted side neck. Oh, let's go. What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to another video here at the ranch. I want to give you guys a little bit of an update on what's going on the ranch. I know we haven't been posting too many videos on YouTube. That's pretty much the fact of we've been busy here at the ranch. But if you guys haven't been seeing the clips on TikTok, I'm just showing a bunch of small little clips of random stuff here at the ranch. So make sure you follow me on TikTok if you haven't done so already. The aviary is looking beautiful. The rain has not came yet here on the ranch. Even though it's really cloudy, nothing's came. And everything's still growing though. If we don't start cutting back soon, this stuff is going to literally close off our entryway into the aviary on this part. But another thing I wanted to show you guys, we're gonna go over here, is that the Toracos are starting to show signs of breeding season again. Pretty much the male is feeding the female. We have our one nest box there from the original time. We also have, one there too, but I didn't realize they pooed inside of there. There's one there as well. And then we also have one in this direction over here. Let me show you. We have a nest box here and a nest box over there. And you can see they are with each other a lot right now. Following each other everywhere. Check them out. Watch what they do. Following each other. Males chasing the female everywhere. Just doing their thing. This year, 100%, when they have some chicks, we're going to pull them at day 5. We're not going to make sure they stay there any longer. We don't want to lose any babies. We want to raise some Toracos. So we're going to make that happen. Other than that, though, the aviary is looking beautiful. It is very, very thick and green and nice. Let me go show you what the other aviary looks like. It's pretty cool to say. We have another aviary. Let's go check that out. So check it out. We have mulch inside of the aviary now. I gave myself a sidewalk as well to walk to one of the islands, which is really neat. I made this sidewalk with a half bucket high of mulch on every single spot, so I didn't even bury it down. I just made it really, really thick so it'll last for a long time. As you can see, I didn't want to bring it all the way too close to the side because obviously we still have to get the rest of the mesh. We're not gonna be able to complete this aviary until the rest of the mesh comes here to the property. They said about a month, which isn't a problem. I'm not gonna complain because this stuff is absolutely amazing from Knitwire, if anybody was wondering where I got it from. But yeah, we're waiting for the rest to come in. Once the rest comes in, we'll seal off the whole front, and then we'll be able to start getting some species of birds in here. Not just yet, because I want to get all the plants to grow. Unfortunately, I don't think this plant is gonna take off. We pulled that one from another part of the property. Actually, there is a little bit of green right here.
Maybe you should water it.
I water it every single afternoon. Everything gets watered every single afternoon. I was getting to that point. But yeah, we pulled it from another part of the property. It was a good plant. We wanted to see if it was going to take or not, but we'll see. Also, we did seed the ground, so hopefully it starts taking off. We have the Japanese blueberry trees there. Everything is looking real, real nice inside of here. I'm happy that I was able to plant this now, early, and before I was able to start putting birds in here, because we want this stuff to grow. We want it to get nice and luscious and thick before we even put birds in here, so they pretty much feel like that they just came in here. And I realized that a freaking chicken came in here. Look at this. Damn chickens. They jumped over and made a freaking hole. Chickens are so pain in the butt because they dig everywhere. But thankfully, we're not putting anything that digs inside of the enclosure. But yeah, it is looking beautiful, you guys. This is going to be an enclosure that is going to change people's ways of looking at an aviary. I cannot wait. We have some really, really cool things to show you guys for this. Some of the native wildlife have been coming in here already, which is pretty neat. We've been getting mockingbirds, learning that the bugs are getting trapped inside of here, and they're using the mesh as an advantage. I'm gonna see if I can get that on a clip on another day, and I post it on Instagram or something. The mockingbirds come in and get all the bugs, and they're eating them all off of here. So one thing that's gonna be pretty cool is this is gonna be, well, the bugs won't be able to come in once it's closed off, but for right now, the mockingbirds are eating them, which is neat. But yeah, quick little update. What we have to do right now is we're gonna go make a new twisted side neck turtle enclosure because the one that we have originally is poo-poo. All right, so inside of here, we have this, cattle trough, which worked amazing to hold turtles and raise turtles, but unfortunately, it is not holding that much water, and it needs to be a little bit more water for these twisted side neck turtles. So I'm using one of these white other cattle troughs we have that work great. So I'm gonna grab it real quick. We're gonna use this right here because we've been using it for some quail, but it actually has cut holes right here. So this gives it a nice depth already for them and has a top overflow right there. So this will be deep enough for the twisted side neck turtles. And then probably on this side over here, we're gonna put a container there for a nesting spot. Maybe we'll use this right here. We can put this in the ground. Maybe, I don't know, maybe we'll find something a little shallower. We gotta put something there with a rock on the bottom and put a nesting area. Because these guys have nowhere to nest, and I've gotten eggs before. So why not have a spot for them so that they can nest, and maybe one day we can hatch out some twisted side neck turtles, which would be really a meat. Because we've had these guys now for about 6 years and no luck whatsoever. So, because I had them on land, we didn't have them on land, now let's give them some land. So these guys are just like wood turtles. They're very, very shallow egg layers. So I just found this in the yard. It's not that deep at all, probably about 3 inches, and that's pretty much the depth of the water that's gonna be. So I'm gonna place that right inside of there, fill that up with dirt. The rest will be water. This will be area that they can climb in and out as often as they want, and it's gonna be perfect because that's gonna be a spot for them to lay eggs if they want to. So while we're getting dirt, we're gonna let this fill up, overflow, and fill this up with dirt. So when you have a ranch, when you have a lot of animals, everybody can agree with me on this. You have to have extra stuff just laying around. So we have some extra dirt. This extra dirt is for covering holes, filling in holes, making new enclosures, the whole 9 yards. So today, we're gonna find the best of it. It's not obviously clean dirt. It's clean dirt, but as in not screen dirt, meaning that there is rocks in it. So I'm kind of gonna go through it a little bit and make sure I don't have any big rocks in there. And just have mostly just dirt. I don't wanna have a bunch of little rocks in there that will make the turtles not wanna lay because of the fact of there's a rock, and then they get pissed off and then they just go back in the water. But hopefully, with getting this enclosure set up properly, we might be able to get some baby twisted side neck turtles. And also, this is Cash's playhouse area. He loves to play in the dirt. What kid doesn't want to play in the dirt? If your kid doesn't like to play in the dirt, you're raising him wrong. Probably just do a little bit of dirt first, and then probably gonna put some leaf litter in there, maybe like some bamboo leaves in here, mix it to make it like the jungle floor. Because where these guys are actually from are deep, deep, deep in the jungles and small little streams and rivers. So giving them maybe some mango leaves. We'll throw that in here as well to make it mimic it like the jungle canopy floor. Black, nasty, grassy, leafy floor. And oh look, right here, we have some leaves. I know you guys are probably like, you don't know what you're talking about, you don't know what you're doing, this and that. I've been to the jungle, I've seen these turtles before in the wild. I've seen where they live. It looks like the jungle floor. You want to mimic the jungle floor. Dark, nasty stuff, so that.
Beautiful.
It is. Looks beautiful. A little bit of wet down. Looks like a nest box for me for a twisted side neck. Oh, let's go. All right, here we go. Oh, perfect. It's not high enough that it moves, but it's low enough that the water can't get in. The water still has to drop a little bit, as you guys can see. The water is dropping a little bit more. So that's perfect. We have a giant 2-inch pipe right here. So let's say hard rains come in, it'll drop down. We're gonna put some water plants inside of here, like you see in all the other enclosures. That helps to give the shade down and have the animals hide. We're gonna put a couple rocks in the front right here so they're able to climb in and out without a problem. I wanna put a couple rocks on the side so they don't get stuck around over there. Luckily, the ranch is loaded with rocks. You can find freaking rocks anywhere and everywhere. This stuff spreads like crazy, but the good thing about it, it's a great food source for the capybaras. They absolutely love it. We should have a 2.5 in here. So that's a female. That's a nice male. That's a female. Let me show you the male. Male has an indent in there, bigger tail, flat bottom. Another female. It's another female. Another female. This one looks like it got bitten by a freaking jaguar. Look at that. Or maybe like a caiman when it was a baby. Another female. And this is how many?
7.
3, 7. Cool. All right, let's bring them over to the new spot. All right, we're gonna put them all on the land so that they know there's a land section for them now. So this is perfect. Here we go. I think it's just a 1.6. So while that's all filling up, you can see how thick this stuff gets in here. It is absolutely crazy. So I just literally pull it out and the animals will come around and eat it later, just so that the turtles are able to breathe a little bit more. But inside of here, we have some beautiful North American spotted turtles. Look at these guys. Nice and freaking fat. It's all different levels inside of here. That was the same one. Where they all are. It's like 8 of them inside of here. Look at that. Nice girls and boys. They have a nice spot over there to lay their eggs. And then you can see, look, even Missy likes it, eating it. She enjoys it. Breaks it all up and eats it up. Then we have our Colombian blue-eyes inside of here. Our female, that's somewhere inside of here. And then our male. And then we have some raise up wood turtles in here as well. I would like to get a couple more of these tubs. I think these size tubs are perfect to raise up the wood turtles. As you can see, they do great inside of it. I have a lot of rock and stuff in here, so it's not so deep. But if I need to make it deeper, all I have to do is move the rocks. And then over here we have our Japanese wood turtles. These guys are real neat. They're doing amazing in here. Our little boy, he's super small. And then I'll show you the girls. The girls are big. Oh, absolutely amazing. We should be getting eggs from them this year. We got some eggs last year, but we didn't have a nest spot ready for them. This year we do. So hopefully this year we'll get some eggs. All this stuff, you guys, is all gonna get moved to the turtle section down the road, hopefully sometime this year. We've just been really busy with other stuff, especially the aviary, quail operation for Blake Exotic Feeders, and just, you know, life all around. But all this will get cleaned up. We're probably gonna get a carport of some sort, just like how we used to have behind us in the overhang with the mesh and everything. We're gonna do the same thing with a bunch of small waterland tubs for all of our wood turtles, the small species turtles that we like to work with here on the ranch, and then for all of our adults, because as you've seen before, the adults are in those little tubs over there, and they're not the best. I don't really enjoy it that much, but check this out one more time. All right, so love, check this out. We put 2 little locks in there, but we have 1 more overflow right here, which is fine because the level that we have the water at is perfect, and that's where we want to. We want to add that depth, not too shallow, not too deep, but enough that they can climb in and out. Let me wet down the nest box, because if you know the jungle, it's definitely not dry, so they're gonna want to have a little bit of mud inside of there. There we go. Perfect. Back then, if you guys remember, we used to have all these guys on overflows. Eventually we'll pipe it all out, hose it all down, and make it all work again. So we all have to do is turn a valve, and all the water just drops over, flows over, and we don't have to do much. So I'm gonna give you guys a quick little update as well with the Munjack deer, show you what they look like, because obviously they're not back inside their new enclosure yet. They've been living over here now for about a full month straight, and unfortunately, I will say it sucks, but it doesn't suck. This is a perfectly fine enclosure for them, but they're getting a massive new enclosure. Everybody looks great. Everybody's been doing absolutely amazing. The strawberry tree is growing like crazy inside of here. Thank God I have this around here, because if I didn't, they were already almost trying to gurgle that one. They killed the other tree. They broke into that. There's nothing I can do. But we have 2 more in here. These guys are growing, and these are going to be trees for the cassowaries. You know, a giant grow out enclosure for the cassowaries. But the deers are doing good inside of here, you guys. They're doing amazing. We give them fresh hay all the time. They ate all the browse inside of here. That's the main reason why, you guys, we have to make islands around the aviary, because if we don't, they're just going to destroy everything. The outskirts and the perimeter of wherever the bushes are not, it's just going to be dirt at the end of the day, because the deers are just going to eat it all up. But they look good. Peanut, Nutella, the babies, they all look really well. And other than that, you guys, give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, put your post notifications on, stay tuned for more videos here at the ranch. If you guys have any other videos you guys would like to see, any ideas, anything you want me to do, let me know, and I'll see you guys next one. Peace out, everybody.